Hello everyone, and welcome back to Bugs Bunny Lost in Time on the Sony PlayStation 1. I am One Well Sheep yet again, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be continuing onwards with the rest of the game, and we have unlocked the magic hair blower level back in the Stone Age period of the game. We aren't going there straight off though, ladies and gentlemen. First things first, we are going to have a quick revisit into what's cooking Doc, because now we can actually 100% finish off the stage throughout without too much of any issues, you know, ladies and gentlemen. Which, I had to do a quick jump cut because I had a bit of a recording break, what can I say. But the big thing with the stage is I'm actually going to be speeding this one up, and because we've already done all this, you know, ladies and gentlemen. I'm only really showing all this stuff off for the sake of walkthrough purposes. So if people are using this as like a walkthrough and they're playing alongside me, then they can use this as a way to find where all the Acme crates are, you know, ladies and gentlemen. But basically, we've all done this stage beforehand. We know what's up with the level itself, and with the exception of one area we're going to be going to, you know, there's nothing really new to the stage, you know, there's nothing really new to deal with, so I figured, I'm gonna make my own job a little bit easier and making everyone else's job a little bit, well, not so much job, but making everyone else's experience watching this a little bit less tedious. But we now are in His Royal Majesty's Gardens, ladies and gentlemen, where we have the last of the golden carrots to be picking up, and the last, well, not so much the last of the clocks, because there is an extra area we need to, I'm trying to think, my words are failing me. This isn't the last area of the stage we're going to, basically, ladies and gentlemen. We do have extra areas to go to a bit later down the line in this very same level, but, you know, this is the biggest main new area we need to finish, and right from the get-go, we do need to utilize this big fat-ass mook thing here in order to gain access to the gardens themselves, because obviously it's a locked gate. We can't really do much about it. The big problem is, so he's a little bit awkward to sort of maneuver to stay in front of the gate, because you need to make sure that you stun this guard close enough to the gate so you're able to actually progress over it, and not too far away, so you're gonna have to do a little bit of finicky dodging with your rolls and whatnot, you know, ladies and gentlemen. But we do have a means to get back around the gate as well, which is the form of this anvil, which we actually do need to utilize because, as you can easily tell, there's a couple of golden carrots just floating in the sky. So, yeah, we need to utilize this anvil to get on and up and collect these. What can I say? As you can probably guess by each of these trees, Robin Duck also makes a return in this area as well, folks, but he's not really that much of a pain in the arse in this area, you know, you don't have to worry about him too much, I tell you that much. But you basically need to get apples, and you need to put the apples on the pedestal in order to open up the route, basically, in order to get hold of the clock. And it'll also disable all the water services, all the plumbing in the area as well, which means we'll be able to go underground and get hold of a golden carrot that is basically behind a wall, you know, folks. So, basically just kick the apple trees to get apples to fall out, pick up the apples, put them on the pedestal, and there we are, you know, folks. Of course, if you're... words. Robin Duck himself will also try and steal the apples off the pedestal and take them from his own, but I don't think he's really that big of a pain in the ass in this area in particular, because he doesn't become a direct nuisance to you, and it's only once every couple of... like, every half a minute he'll try to steal something from the pedestal, you know, folks? So you get plenty of time to do what you need. Like, he just stole something now. It took him ages to steal this apple. And if you want the apple back, well, just run up to him and just boop him again. And it's not like there's a shortage of apples. You can keep kicking these trees to get more and more apples, you know, ladies and gentlemen, so... basically, Robin Duck isn't that big an issue to deal with. What can I tell you? But as I said, we do need to go up to this area and pick up this golden carrot, and that's a very easy golden carrot to easily miss, you know, folks, so just be sure to grab that before you progress onwards. What can I tell ya? What can I tell ya, indeed? Of course, like I said, once we cleared us this area, we need to use the anvil again to bounce on back, and The controls when you use the anvil are pretty much exactly the same as the controls when you use the super jump, which basically means it's a little bit tricky. Like the super jump controls I've already mentioned are a little bit off, alongside sometimes the normal jumping controls, so it can be a little bit, it can take a little bit of getting used to really, but you know, because there's no penalties really for messing up a jump. You know, if you die, it's not a big deal, so I don't mind too much. But of course, now we're back in the ramparts area of this stage, which basically means we have access to a new, basically one last new area to deal with, which is basically one of the towers that we had access to before, but we couldn't collect everything in said tower because obviously we needed the fan power-up, and now we got the fan power-up, you know, folks. But, yeah, this stage is largely just redoing the entire thing over and over and over again, you know. We've done this stage once. The only reason I'm showing this all off is for the sake of walkthrough purposes, you know. If it weren't for that, I would have...
Hocus pocus!
Yeah, hocus pocus, whoop-de-doo. If it weren't for the fact I wanted to show off the stage for walkthrough purposes, then I probably could have skipped most of the backtracking here, folks, but, you know, figured I might as well show it off. But anyway, going up to the top of this tower, we have the last Acme box that we missed previously, as well as the flag, which we need this flag to take it all the way back to that one fort that we saw way earlier on, because there's a clock inside the fort. This flag opens up the fort, allowing us to get the clock. What can I tell you? It's still kind of annoying I have to do all this level again just to backtrack and collect some of these last collectibles we missed, but you know, it's not a big deal at the end of the day. They could have handled the backtracking in this game much, much worse. Plus, through the power of editing, I can just skip past everything, you know, ladies and gentlemen, which is great. I love editing. I love the ability to do this. Granted, I can't do this when I'm actually recording the footage, which is a shame, but you know, when I've edited the footage, once I've recorded it already, I can do whatever I want with it. I could change all the red in this room into blue if I really wanted to. I'm not going to, but I could do it. That's the benefits of doing YouTube Let's Plays, you know, you can show off the games that you love, and you don't have to worry too much about being too monotonous, because you can edit the footage, and it's great! But anyway, the stage is over and done with once and for all, ladies and gentlemen, which means we never have to return here again, and honestly, we're getting very, very, very close to the end game now, folks. Like, this playthrough is going to probably... Well, I say probably, I've already edited the next 2 parts. I know for a fact this playthrough is going to be 15 parts in length total. You know, folks. So, yeah, we're getting close to the end game. Aren't you excited? I know I am. And then I'm moving on to Sonic Heroes, I believe, which is going to be fun. At least I think of Sonic Heroes. I know I got a couple of sheepish look at to do before Sonic Heroes, but that's beside the point. Either way, now we're back here and it's time to access the Magic Hair Blower, which is quite an interesting stage just because this is basically a redone version, it's a remixed version of the very first level of the game. You know, folks, it's basically the very first level of the game, only at night. Ooh, originality. And, there's nothing really special about it, but the biggest thing with the stage that is different is the fact it does utilize the fan power all the damn time. It's the stage's main gimmick. It remixed the level design enough, so it's, you know, it feels like a different level. The stage isn't exactly 120. It has the same major level design formations, but, you know, the basic general level design itself is slightly remixed. It's slightly different, so it does feel like a new stage. Like a separate act, you know, or something like that, or maybe like you're revisiting something later down the line. I don't know. It's not exactly the same as the first level, which I recommend. I not recommend. I appreciate, you know, folks. But you do need to try and get used to this fan control in order to utilize it properly, because it can be a little bit dodgy to get used to. And mainly how this fan really works is when you're hovering on the actual air of the fan, you will automatically float above it. Once you've reached a certain amount of seconds of floating on the fan itself, you can actually press the jump button and do an additional hop. And this will allow you to basically jump extremely damn high. And that's mainly what we need to utilize in order to collect everything here, folks. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying indeed? But unfortunately, the likes of Elmer Fudd, he doesn't make an appearance anymore. Like, when I said Elmer Fudd's boss fight was the last time in the game we were really going to deal with Elmer Fudd, with the exception of that Rabbit or Duck season level, I was serious. We don't get to see Elmer Fudd again. He's not in the stage. This is the very final Stone Age era stage, you know, ladies and gentlemen, and Elmer Fudd's nowhere to be seen. There's like 1 or 2 of his mooks running about, but you don't get to see Elmer Fudd himself, which is it's kind of a shame. It's kind of a missed opportunity, you know. Especially considering in all of the other levels, all the main bad guys are basically prevalent throughout the course of the other worlds, in every single stage almost. But I don't know, not in the Stone Age era for some reason. It's kind of strange. Probably an oversight when they were designing the game, I assume. But, digress. Anyway, one thing you will notice as well is the level design difficulty in general is starting to actually ramp up a slight bit, you know, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it is obviously clear just from the difficulty level alone that we're getting closer and closer to the end game itself. And, you know, these stages are still not impossible. They're still quite easy to progress through, especially if you know what you're doing. But, you know, if you're a young kid or something, you may have a little bit of trouble. This is where the stages are a little bit more challenging and a little bit more difficult to progress through, you know, folks. Even though 90% of my own 90% of my deaths in this game are my own fault, you know, but this beside the point. What can I tell you? In fact, the biggest proof that we're getting to the end of the game is due to the fact that the next level, well, not so much, I don't know if it is the next level itself, but in the next part, we're going to be tackling a level which I consider to be the worst level in the entire game. Not only because of the difficulty of the stage, but because it's such a pain in the ass to navigate, and, oh boy, am I looking forward to ranting and raving about that. Not really, I'm not looking forward to that at all. But this is something that actually did stump me for a little while when I was playing this game when I was younger. Basically, we need to pick up this rock in order to gain the extra height needed to get up here. Otherwise, we will not be able to jump on these bouncy pads and we will not be able to get to this checkpoint over here. So, yeah, be sure to pick up the rock. There's no real indicator that rock is pick-upable. There's no indicator that you can pick that rock up, though. Which is kind of annoying. So, you could probably go through this game and think it's just decoration like I did, and you could get stumped in that area, you know, you could get confused as to how you could progress further and further and further into the stage. Which is a little bit tricksy, I'll tell you that much. But of course, the stage is also a little bit extended in terms of level design as well. While the basic main premise and level design is identical for the most part to the original one, they have added new areas in amongst the areas we've originally been to as well, so not only is it a little bit remixed, they do add a couple of new things here and there, which I appreciate. But I really do want to know why they decided to reuse this level layout for the stage, because this is the only stage in the game that reuses a previous level's layout. No other stage reuses aspects of another stage. This is the only one that does this, and I have no idea why. The only thing I can really think is maybe because they were wrapping up development close to this point, they've decided let's just reuse assets or something, or maybe they ran out of a budget. I have no idea, but I don't know, I just find it a little bit jarring. That's all. Not to say it's bad by any means, it's still a pretty damn fine level, you know, folks. I don't mind if something's not too original, as long as it's fun to play through. And you know what? The stage is fun to play through. I like the stage, but it's just a little bit weird, you know. I don't know. I don't get it. But again, if you recall earlier on, using the rock to get up to this point, we need to also use this rock by here as well to move forward even further, which Again, the game doesn't give you any real indicator that you're able to utilize these rocks in any way, and it's kind of jarring, it's kind of annoying, because apart from this instance, the game's usually pretty damn good about, letting you know you can do something, like, maybe also with the exception of that one safe in the Big Bank withdrawal, where we had to kick the safe to get the carrots out before we could push it, but... that's just a neat puzzle. This isn't really so much a puzzle as it is a game just flat out not telling us, hey, we can actually pick up rocks. Because, I thought they were part of the environment so when I first played, so it did throw me off. And, I can play through the game right now, and I know how to get through the stage now. But when I was younger, it was such a pain in the ass, because I didn't know that I could use it. I didn't know I could utilize the rocks to my advantage, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if I'm just being an idiot or what, but, I digress. Anyway, we are getting closer and closer and closer to the actual end of the stage itself, and, this is probably one of the shorter mainline, well, not mainline, but one of the shorter big levels of the game, ladies and gentlemen, so... It's pretty much comparable to the length of the original stage, the very first stage of the game. And I do consider the first Stone Age era stage to be the first stage of the game, because, to be honest, the Nowhere level is more of a over-glorified tutorial, where it's more of a pain in the ass to deal with, because I'd much rather skip that entirely if I have a chance in a playthrough, but... Basically, Nowhere is not very interesting. It's like you're in the middle of nowhere. What can I tell you? Don't know why I'm bringing that up at this late in the game, because that's like right at the beginning of the game, but ladies and gentlemen. But one thing I do kind of like about the stage as well is just the fact that they decided to go the extra mile when it comes to the actual level itself, and they changed it to nighttime, which sort of does give the stage an extra, not so much extra, but it changes up the feeling of the level a little bit, it changes up the atmosphere, which I do appreciate, and the level design itself is... Not level design, the sound design's a little bit more slower paced and a lot more chill to to... Not so much compensate, what's the word I'm thinking of here? Accentuate? Is that it? Basically, it's just got a good atmosphere, I just like the atmosphere of the stage. It has this nice nighttime sort of chilled out, relaxing, go from point A to point B sort of feeling. In fact, the music by here actually kind of reminds me of Sonic Unleashed at some points, because the nighttime levels in Sonic Unleashed, while I think they're better composed music tracks in comparison to this in general, I still think I get the same feeling from them, they're really calm, chilled out tunes that if you listen to enough, you could probably utilize them in order to just flat out go to sleep, I could fall asleep listening to the music in the stage, ladies and gentlemen. But, yeah, I hate that damn pterodactyl. Yeah, you want to progress further in the stage? Well, tough, because you move too quickly, and screw you, pterodactyl. I know it's my own fault, I got caught by the damn thing, but Jesus Christ. I don't like those things. I don't like things that slow me down arbitrarily, because it's, if I have the ability to go fast, then I'd like to go fast, what can I say? Anyway, this Acme box by here is a little bit weird. You can't actually hit it using normal means. You can't roll into it and you can't kick into the Acme box. You have to dig under the ground in order to hurt that Acme box and destroy it, which is weird because that's the only Acme box in the entire game. You have to do something other than just flat out whack it in order to destroy it, which I have no idea why. I honestly have no idea why that one in particular is different, but I don't know, maybe they just wanted to change stuff up a little bit. Maybe they thought the general platforming itself was a little bit too generic. I don't know. But yeah, we're on the last stretch of the stage itself, and this is basically all brand new territory, folks. None of this this landmass wasn't present in the original stage that we played through. And again, I just appreciate they added extra stuff. They added an extra area to explore, when you're in this new area. Because they could have really just cheaped out and just made you go through the exact same stage as you originally went through, only with slightly changed up object placement, And I probably would have complained if they did just that, because then it's the the stage would be the equivalent of every ROM hack level ever. Well, I say that, but ROM hack video games are usually pretty damn good in terms of level design in a lot of instances. Unless we're counting stuff like Kaizo Mario World, where the game's just out to kill you, and fuck that ROM hack. I'm never touching Kaizo Mario World. Well, I always say I'm never doing something, but I still will never say it never if someone requests me to do something. So I don't know, maybe if I get enough requests at some point, maybe I'll tackle something like that. But for the time being, I'm saying don't count on it. I have other things I want to tackle, other things that I enjoy playing, and games that I also don't enjoy playing too much. But because I'm tackling the entire series of that game, I will be tackling a certain game, but that's beside the point. Anyway, one last puzzle we need to deal with right by here, and we're basically done with the stage, so it's kind of cool. I kind of dig it. All we really need to do is push these 3 wooden, not pylons, pillars, into a certain position so we're able to platform our way up, and that's all she wrote, really, ladies and gentlemen. That's basically it for this stage. That's all she wrote. And, yeah, basically, I like it. I like this level. It's more chilled out than the very first stage of the game. And honestly, if this was the final stage in the entire game, I think it would have been a good closing out point, but this isn't the final stage of the game. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. No, it's not. We got a couple of other ones to go to next, you know, folks. Like I said, next part we have the final 1930s level, which is the hard... Actually, yeah, I would say it's both the hardest and the most annoying stage in the entire game. You know, folks. But, I digress. Anyway, that is it for this part. We are now done with the stage once and for all. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people. And I'll catch you all next time as we actually enter the 1930s to deal with the dreaded carrot factory. Ugh. Oh God, why? Do we have to do I have to do this? Yes, you have to do that. God damn it, my manager said so I have to tackle the carrot factory. Ugh. I don't like that stage. Fine. Anyway, with that, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, and I will catch you all next time when we do that. So, yeah. I'll see you after. Thanks for watching. Bye!